it's amazing how one thing after another sort of seeped out of the woodwork. You know, people would sort of mention to you, well, did you know about this person or did you know about that? And slowly we built up quite a reasonable collection of stuff associated with the Roseland.
Building that collection was one thing, and then figuring out how to bring that music into events or in front of people and get it out into communities was an important part of what we wanted the project to do. And that is where I think Music of the Roseland and Music of the Clay Country actually took quite different forms, because Music of the Clay Country had one big event, or one focal event at Wheel Martin that Neb was talking about. What happened in Music of the Roseland was a series of events throughout the year where different aspects of Music of the Roseland were celebrated at different community events and kind of tied in with different things that were happening anyway for the large parts. So that was a really interesting and useful way of putting local music and Cornish music and kind of bringing those conversations into spaces where they might not otherwise have been. So the first one just happened to be early in the year. It was the Roseland Music Society, so Emma Campbell's, she is the secretary of that. So Emma Campbell's representation there, with a concert that she co-organised in Verrian Church. But Ian Stevens is a contemporary composer who wrote Carricknath, which is the name of a headland.
Yes.
Opposite St Mawes.
Yes.
And he'd written this melodic line that mirrored the contour of the headland. So if you took this, there's a wonderful photograph of the headland with a musical stave superimposed on it, and then notes that trace the line of the headland to give this little melodic figure. Anyway, it's just an interesting way that Cornwall can be represented musically. So anyway, there was a concert of all sorts of wonderful, highly acclaimed classical musicians that performed this piece inspired by the Roseland. And then throughout January and February, Emma was doing workshops in the 4 Roseland primary schools using the toy symphony, the Porthscatho dances, and getting kids interested and involved in music and getting them playing instruments. And so there was that strand to it as well. And then the following day after the concert, there was a music celebration day at Gerrans Memorial Hall. And there were quite a few different performers at that, weren't there?
Yeah, so again, some of the children came along to perform the Porthscatho dances. Emma is also the director of the local band, which is called St Anthony's Noise, and they played throughout the day. Other local singing groups like Roseland came along, yep. And it was quite a sort of celebration of music. One of the other things that was played that day was called, I think it was called Waltz on the Roseland, which was a jazz piece by Mike Hitchens of Portlow. Again, another piece inspired by Roseland that we collected for that.